It's midweek. Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this edition, Société Générale declares any publicized information about exiting Ghana is not emanating from its group head in France. We'll hear more from the managing director of the bank, who says, describe the report as rumors.
All our stakeholders and our shareholders that the news item being circulated in the media was not issued by the group nor by SG.
Also in this bulletin, inflation drops to 25% in April as food inflation slows down to its lowest in 30 months.
In the month of April 2024, rate of inflation stood at 25.0%, indicating that between April 2023 and April 2024, general prices of goods and services went up by 25.0%.
Details of these and many others lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for your time. I am Pius Kojo Baka. To our very first story, which of course we've been following up for you over the past few days, the managing director of Société Générale Ghana, Uzani Hakim, has declared that the much publicized information about the bank exiting the Ghanaian market is not coming from the group head in France. Describing the media report as rumors, Hakim said the bank remains committed to its group strategy to strengthen its capital base since 2023 to streamline the operations of the SG Bank Ghana. He was speaking at the 44th annual general meeting of the bank.
It's not in the SG Group, Société Générale Group policy to comment rumors, because these are rumors. It's important to us to give you the context or to reiterate what our Société Générale Group CEO, Slavomir Krupa, in line with the group strategic roadmap, has been saying constantly since September 2023. It's not new. The group is pursuing a global review of its business portfolio, targeting a streamlined, more synergetic and efficient business model, while strengthening the group capital base. This has been said for once again since September 2023. In the context of this strategic review for the group, and following decisions taken and publicized by Société Générale Group on some activities over the world, in France, in Africa, but elsewhere, some rumors have indeed taken roots regarding SG Ghana. But it's important to mention and to remain to all our stakeholders and our shareholders that the news item being circulated in the media was not issued by the group nor by SG Ghana.
And it is important we bring this discussion into sharp focus and, of course, proper context. Joining me in studio is my colleague, Winston Taki, who was at the AGM of Société Générale Ghana today. Winston, thanks so much for joining me in studio. So you were at the AGM, and I know for stakeholders and shareholders, AGM is very, very critical to them. But since the news broke about they exiting, which happens to be rumors as spelled out by the MD, give us a sense of how the euphoria was before this announcement was made.
You know, one of the initial statements made by the managing director of SG Ghana was that indeed they do not answer to rumors, but they know their policy, which is strategically positioned to ensure there's clarity to a lot of the managers, especially the shareholders of the company. So whilst he was making the statement, debunking the fact that that narrative was not necessarily from SG Ghana, but something that has been put out by false individuals. Nonetheless, there were anticipation, especially by shareholders who were there and there to question the authenticity of that particular narrative. And he disclosed that indeed, according to the company structure from the group headquarters in Paris, they are moving in a different direction, especially much investment in transition projects. So just 2 weeks ago, I was there to report some of their projects that they did in Ghana, where they invested over $13 million in solar projects. And that has been consistent in terms of what they've been doing in Ghana. So the question now begs whether indeed what they are existing, is it really true? Is there any truth to what they intend to do here in Ghana? But nonetheless, that is not the fact.
Ultimately, the decision lies in the hands of course, the bank and, of course, its directors. But again, shareholders and customers are very much interested in knowing what the next line of action is. But do you get a sense from them, you were with them, that, well, they've accepted or are satisfied with the answers given by the MD?
Once the big elephant in the room was dispelled off, it appeared that the numbers spoke to the reality. If you observe from 2023, they made the greatest profit, especially in the banking sector, recording over 290% of growth, which is basically about 400 million Ghana cedis. And that is a formidable growth because we know what happened in 2023, where the banking sector cleanup and most of the after effect of the cleanup, including the debt exchange restructuring and all that, for them to have record that growth, which the interesting aspect has to do with getting the growth from depositors and investment. So you'll be surprised, although there were literacy conversation about enticing individuals to invest more, to save more, but I'm surprised that indeed many people still have trust in the banking sector. The banking sector is not as bad as it's been perceived to be, but still there's hope in the Ghana's banking sector. So it's quite resilient.
All right, thank you very much, Winston Taki, for joining me in studio. And I want to bring in the perspective of a senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amwa, to help us understand all of these. Thanks so much, sir, for joining us on Business Line. Now, following rumors about SG exiting Ghana, the bank has finally spoken. And to paraphrase the bank, it said publicized information about exiting Ghana is not emanating from the group head in France. Should we take this word or basically, should we take their word for it? And what's your own reading to it?
For now, we have to go by what the senior management member is saying, that is the MD of SG, that these are just rumors and it's not coming from SG Ghana nor the parent in Paris. Why? Because he is a member of the board. And so, who again can speak on an issue like this when SG itself has not made any statement? Two, Bank of Ghana has not made any statement to that effect. We shouldn't forget that SG is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. For a significant change in business ownership, if any at all, the shareholders will have to be notified. Securities and Exchange Commission will also have to be notified. All these, can call them bodies, have not made any statement to that effect. All that we are seeing is that for the past 10 years, SG has been reducing its investment across Africa. Again, last year, some subsidiaries of SG across some selected markets in Africa were also, sold. So the rumor will have picked on this development taking place with the SG brand. And so it will have been easy to, add Ghana to it. But for now, we have to go by what the MD is saying and then look at the next 12 to 24 months. Should anything otherwise take place, we will know. And for a major decision like an exit or a change in shareholdership, it's not something that can be hidden. Definitely, the market will know of it. And so for now, we should just take the word of the MD that these are rumors, and let's wait for about 12 to 24 months. And we'll know what exactly the situation is concerning the ownership structure and the business reorganization that may take place in SG Ghana.
Well, if indeed it's a rumor, as the bank is saying, don't you think it is also the responsibility of the bank to investigate where this is coming from in order to maintain its credibility and trust?
You are right, but then again, who again do you want to give you the assurance, apart from the MD? If the MD has spoken, we should pick and take the MD's word as it is. And then what they must do is rather to continue with the business as they are providing, rather even improve on the quality of service delivery to convince the banking populace and client that yes, we are in the business to stay. Wasting resources to go and investigate a rumor, which is even a rumor, may not land you anywhere, compared to continuing on your core mandate and providing your banking services and even providing better banking services. I believe that will serve the SG brand better than putting scarce resources into investigating the rumor. Like I'm saying, once the MD has spoken, let's go by the MD's words. Within 12 to 24 months, we will get to know what the actual situation is.
And Dr. Moa, it leaves one to wonder where the regulator is in all of these. What can the BOG do in situations like this in order to, sanitize the industry?
These are just rumors. BOG's headache and burden is not to go out fishing for rumor mongers about a particular brand or a particular licensee operating a bank. This has got nothing to do with any infraction on the banking law, which is core to banking. This is information going out that a particular bank may be exiting. Maybe. Now we don't even know. The MD says that no, we are not exiting. We are in to do business. We are doing good business. So long as it does not infringe on any aspect of the banking law at 930, BOG has no business to come in at all. So for now, BOG is out of this. If indeed they are exiting, BOG will be the first point of contact as far as this information is concerned, and BOG will come about. From what the MD is saying, they are in. And if you go through the 2023 annual report, the 2024 annual report, which was just released, there's no indication in terms of any form of ownership change or business reorganization or any form of seizure of operations in the annual report. And that is instructive. If we are going to have any change, there will be at least some mentioning or some line to show that in the next foreseeable year or next foreseeable season, maybe something like this or that will happen to the SG brand. But the annual report is very quiet about it. So, like I said, let's give ourselves 12 to 24 months and we may know something if indeed there is any truth in the rumor.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Benjamin Amoah is a senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, sharing his perspective with us on this subject matter. We are indeed grateful, sir. Now, inflation for the month of April 2024 has declined marginally to 25% from 25.8% recorded in March 2024. By this, the rate of inflation for the month of April 2024 slowed by 0.8%. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, food inflation contributed to the overall drop in the rate of inflation as it recorded a rate of 26.8%, the lowest since 13 months, with non-food inflation of 23.5%. Here's a report. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, food inflation contributed to the overall drop in the rate of inflation as it recorded a rate of 26.8%, the lowest since 13 months, with non-food inflation of 23.5%. Non-food inflation, however, shot up to 23.5% in April 2024 from 22.6% in March 2024. Inflation for locally produced items and imported items fell to 25.7% and 23.5% respectively. Professor Samuel Kobnanium is the government statistician.
In the month of April 2024, rate of inflation stood at 25.0%, indicating that between April 2023 and April 2024, general prices of goods and services went up by 25.0%. This 25.0% indicates a slowdown of 0.8 percentage points between the rate that was recorded in March 2024 of 25.8% relative to 25.0% for the month of April 2024. We saw a contrasting trend between food and non-food inflation, while we saw a decrease in non-food inflation from 29.6% to 26.8% for the month of April 2024. The reverse was the case for non-food inflation, as it increased from 22.6% to 23.5%. The rate of inflation of 26.8% that has been recorded for food inflation is the lowest in the last 13 months. From a regional perspective, the Upper East region recorded the highest rate of inflation of 42.5%, which was close to 4 times the rate that was recorded by the Otu region, which had the lowest of 11.3% for the month of April 2024. For inflation on locally produced items and imported items, we continue to see the dominance of inflation for locally produced items as it recorded a rate of inflation that was 2.2 percentage points higher than the rate of inflation for imported items, specifically with locally produced items recording a rate of inflation of 25.7% relative to 23.5% for inflation on imported items.
7 divisions recorded inflation rates higher than the national average. They are alcoholic beverages, tobacco and narcotics with 39.3%, restaurants and accommodation services 33.9%, personal care, social protection and miscellaneous goods and services with a rate of 31.9%, health recorded 31.2%, recreation, sports and culture recorded 28.7%. You're still watching Business Live. We've got the Joy Business Van for you right after this break. Thanks so much for watching Business Live with me, Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. See you same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.